If you're looking for a fun and exciting experience, there's nothing better on the market than a 5-inch freestyle drone. Well, RushFPV has us covered with their new Armor 5C drone kit. So let's take a closer look at this and see if it's right for you. So here it is, the RushFPV Armor 5C frame kit. And before we get into this, let's talk about the packaging here. This thing is pretty interesting. So the frame is actually in here and it's wrapped up or boxed in a LiPo bag. Pretty interesting. So if you're gonna get one of these, you're gonna get a free LiPo bag in the process. Pretty intricate and interesting design. The second thing here is that you see STP, and STP Hobby is obviously a subsidiary or a sister company of the RushFPV line. Besides that, there's nothing else on here, just a barcode, and that's it. So let's open this up and see what's inside. Ah, that was a good one. All right, so let's open this battery bag and see what's inside. Pretty nice size. This thing is the business. Let's get this stuff out of here. Now this is all shrink wrapped in here. So here's your frame, the arms, and then you also have all your TPU, all your hardware, and some zip ties in here. And then you have a manual, pretty cool. So an instruction manual in here. So if you wanna know how to assemble this, it's right here. I actually needed one of these, so there you go, right in the nick of time. Besides that, they've also sent me all the accessories kit to actually further dress this thing up. And we'll talk about that later. Once we assemble the frame kit, we can actually put some nice colors and some pretty cool protective pieces on this frame kit. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Awesome, so let's open this up and see what's in this bag right here. This one looks straightforward, but we'll need all of this anyway, so we're gonna just take, wow! Wow! There's like nothing on the table anymore. Everything just blew apart and flew away. All right, let's open up the actual frame here. This thing is pretty light and compact, obviously carbon fiber, but pretty cool touch here with the actual, you know, vacuum seal bag on here. All right, STP, looks really nice, premium. Wow, these things feel super light. Now, what drew me to this kit was just the aesthetics of it. This is a really beautiful drone, and I can see right here before I even assemble it, some of the carbon fiber on here. It's really like a matte gloss. It's very glossy, and all the edges of all the carbon fiber are very, very smooth. Usually you see sharp edges, but everything is rounded and tapered off, even the top versus the bottom. Really intricate design on here, really, really good look. So let's begin the assembly process. We're gonna start with just this part right here. You have this TPU here, and we're just gonna put this in the middle here and assemble that. And all you're doing is just trying to fit these pieces together. Here's your bottom plate, and we're just gonna mount this part we just put together on top here, match the holes up. And you can see these two holes line up pretty good. So we're just gonna take the screws on here. We're gonna use the shorter one, M36. You just need 2 for now. And we're just gonna put the screw through here and get it lined up with this. I have the TPU facing up, and this is gonna actually be the thing to hold your arms in place. So this is the first thing, one of the first things you wanna install. But the other one is just 2 screws. All right, so now that we have that in here, we're just gonna put the arms in here. And the arms can go only one way, so let's see here. It can go that way. Does it? Yep. It can't go this way. It doesn't make any sense. So we're just gonna put the first one in here. So let's put these bolts through here. Hopefully they can go through. It sure did. Then the second one right here. Wiggle it a little bit. This one is actually threaded, which is good. So let's thread that one through. And for good reason, because we're gonna put the plate on top here. All right, so we have this plate on here, and we're just gonna put it over it so it can sandwich this. Then I'm just gonna thread that through, and that should hold the two together. There it goes, that one grabbed. And this one should do the same thing. And there you go, you have a nice little sandwich plate here. Just make sure this thing is correct. So let's put the other arms in here. It can only go one way. So if I do it the wrong way, it shouldn't go in. As you can see, it's not going in. There you go. There's only one way you can do it. All right. 2 arms already on. It's all coming together. Whoops, that one went through pretty quickly. That means it fell into place pretty good. And the last arm, yeah. Let's see here, it should go like this. And you can see based upon this how it would be if you broke an arm, you just pull it out and that's it, put the new one in there. All right, here we go. Here's your frame, almost fully assembled. That was pretty quick. All right, so we have the arms here in the frame. Looks really good, really sturdy. Still very light though, really nice. Next thing to do is put the camera side plates on here. And you have these little cutouts here, this TPU, and this is gonna hold the camera to this. You just press it on there, straightforward. All right, so that's in there pretty good. Now the interesting here to know is that there's a longer bottom piece and a shorter top piece here. You can see it down here as well. Hopefully you can see that. This piece right here is longer than the top piece. So here's your bottom, here's your top. So I think I may have installed this TPU wrong. So since this is the bottom, then it's gonna go like this. Pretty straightforward. This is also the bottom, but I have the TPU mounted the wrong way. So I need to flip this one around. So that's all things you have to consider when installing this. Actually, I'll wait on that a little bit because I think this is gonna fall out once I start installing the, the standoffs here. All right, talking about standoff, here are the standoffs. They're all like alloy. All right, so this is the interesting part of this whole build right here. If you are gonna get this as a kit or a bind and fly, it will come with these gray pieces right here. You just install them and put them into the standoffs. This thing here is supposed to stand out. This is one of the selling features of this drone, is that it's a bright, attractive looking kind of drone. Now these little plates here can do multiple things. They're here to protect the electronics in your drone, obviously your investment, but also to dress up the drone as well, as I said earlier. So you can obviously buy these differently, and RushFPV has released a whole slew of colors for this drone. I have a whole bag of it right here, and that's what I'm gonna do. So you can buy them separately if you want to, and that's what I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna follow their little, they have an example on their website, and that's what I'm gonna follow because that's what got my attention. Now we have a few colors here. We have yellow, we have pink, we have like a neon transparent color. That one might be pretty cool as well. And it also a transparent pink. So, what do I wanna do? I think I wanna go with, the transparent one looks pretty good. I'm gonna go with the solid colors though. I wish I had the blue one. You have like a smoke gray here. All right, talking to the standoff, you need to put this into the TPU as well. Here's your mount for your camera antenna. Just gonna slip this through here. And that's fine. Put the other side in here. This is gonna hold your antenna. Now you also have this for the GPS as well. You can put this in here and then mount this to the rear and have GPS in the back. This drone, I'm not gonna put GPS on it, so I'm not gonna mount this TPU. I can use this for another build later on down the line. There we go. That's pretty straightforward. All right, so this is the point we talked about using these plastic pieces. I'm gonna go with the yellow since it's brighter. All right, so here's both of them. This is for the front, that's for the camera. We're gonna put the standoffs through them. It looks easy, but it's actually pretty stiff. A couple things to note here is that you can see there's a difference here in the top to bottom. There's a top and a bottom. And you can see that based upon the cutout right here. This one here is more exposed. That's the bottom. So when we do put it, we're gonna put it like this. That should be fine. The funny part is I'm assembling this right now, and I'm gonna have to disassemble it once I do the actual build in a few hours or days. Wow, this thing is gonna protect this thing too much, actually. If you wanna change your camera angle, it's gonna be a pain in the butt. All right, so just put this one in here. Yep, that's as suspected. I'm gonna put this last two standoffs here for the VTX. Put that in right there. I can screw this in my hand, I think. All right, so now we have the standoffs for the VTX on here. We have all the standoffs in. We're just gonna put this side plate here. And that one goes down like this. Perfect. Perfect. And we can change the colors, obviously, but that looks good. All right, so we have the pink ones out of here. We're just gonna slip this right here. And there's a slot for it, which makes sense. Just clip that down there. Actually, I can put the front one first too. Either one. That's pretty cool. Wow, that clipped on pretty good. Put the front one over here as well. And then, boom. What do you guys think so far? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I think everything is in here. We have these 4 long screws here, and this is gonna be the mounting screws for your electronics. I'm gonna put it in here because I just wanna see how it's gonna look. And this one here is threaded. You have a 20 by 20 and a 30 by 30. Since I'm using 30 by 30 stack, I'm gonna put it on the outer. It's cool that I have a gray and a transparent gray. The transparent one looks good. I might consider doing the transparent ones later, now that I think about it, because I can see the electronics in there. These are just a little bit brighter. That's why I went with the solid colors. All right, and you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the bigger electronics, or you can use the smaller ones here, the closer ones, for smaller electronics. All right, so now that we have everything set up here, we're just gonna put this camera mount back on here to stand up with the camera. And this one here uses either the Caddx Ratel, or you can get it with the Wasp on here as well. That's it. We can put the battery mat on here. I can do it last. And you have the same cutout here for the cameras. So we're just gonna line this up. There you go. Wow, that was pretty cool. We have the top on here. You're gonna use the medium length of screws for the first 4 because you have the TPU camera mount. That's a little bit longer. So let's make sure that that's correct. That looks good. And then you use the short one for these, which there's no. Wow, it looks really good. Looking really good. All right, so let's put the short ones in the back. All right, so I'm gonna save these 2 for the back when I do assemble this thing finally and put the electronics in here. But you can tell it's a very fun looking drone, just the colors, the bright colors. And these things do serve a purpose to protect it. Now, if you wanna get this thing off, you just prop it with a tool. That just comes off, boom. You get to your electronics. Now we talked about putting the electronics in here. What are we gonna do for electronics? We talked about the motors as well. Now this is gonna be a RushFPV build, so we're gonna use majority all RushFPV components on here. The only exception is gonna be the flight controller ESC. We have the SpeedyBee flight controller here. This is the F4. This one is gonna be really good for this one here. A lot of features, a lot of UARTs. This one has Bluetooth in here. I did a full review on this flight controller. I'll leave it linked above and below so you can take a look at this flight controller. But then we have all the motors here ready to go. We have the Rush Tank Mini, the VTX, and we have our receiver here. It's gonna be obviously Express LRS for good range and penetration. We have all our stuff here, all our components for this build, guys, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the next video. So if you wanna see this build and see how it turns out, yeah guys, this could be a cool investment for you guys. This is just a frame, obviously, but once we put the stuff in here, this is gonna fly just like the Armor 5. So this should be a pretty fun drone, guys, and if you wanna see that build, hit that subscribe button. Therefore, you'll be notified whenever I do drop that video, guys. And you do want to be subscribed because I'm doing a series of builds. This is just like, I think, number 3 of 3 builds. I'm doing a whole bunch of builds on the channel. I'll be doing a premium 5-inch build as well with latest electronics. Should be very, very clean, just like this one, but a lot more premium products and electronics in it as well. This one here is the fun one, and we have another one coming up as well. So we have 3 builds going on. You do want to be subscribed, guys. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.